Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's another episode on the Life Signatures Radio. We've been talking about this long topic about the road less traveled, and the road less traveled helps us to give birth to ourselves. I've said this over and over again that when you are born the first time, see, there are very many times that you're going to go through a process of evolution, evolving and birthing and so on. The first time you're a passive participator, you didn't even know what was going on. Okay? But consequently, in fact, as in going forward, it's imperative that we keep realizing transitions and we keep intentionally seeing those transitions through so that we keep evolving, and just like an onion being peeled off and evolving and shedding off the things that are not us, so that at the end of the day we are really ourselves. That's the process of birthing ourselves, and there is a process that you've got to go through for that to happen. It's not an event, it is a process, and we've said it's done on the road less traveled. I'm going to share with you just a recap before we can take off. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
We've said that if you're going to go through the process of self-birthing, there are quite a number of things that you can do. But the first of those things is that there are going to be things that are uncomfortable. The second of those things will be things that are unconventional. And the third of those things will be things that, are for daring. You do those things because you are daring. And then the fourth thing we are talking about, and we're coming to a close of that today, is that you've got to take care of your Goliath. As in you've got to kill some giant. And we've said that you cannot find a human being who doesn't have a giant. You'll be lying to me. Let me tell you, the first giant that I can point to you, that everyone has, is the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. Everyone has that particular giant. And if you don't take care of that particular giant, it doesn't matter what else you do. You're going to always be tethered. It's like chained. And so we've said that you've got to do this. No matter what, you've got to do this. In the past 2 or so episodes, we were talking about that. And so even as I come to a close of this mini-series within the bigger series, and tomorrow we're going to close the whole thing or start the closure of the whole thing by talking about the fifth thing that we should do on the road less traveled. We've got to finish this thing about Goliath. Goliath represents impossibility, represents towering Herculean tasks. It represents, on the flip side, the conquest of the biggest worthwhile enemy. If you don't conquer this, you remain the same guy. You don't realize how new you are. You don't get to a new level, a new realization of who you really are, because you've stayed the same old. But when you conquer Goliath one way or another, it introduces you to a new you. So you said the Goliath could be the guy in the mirror. There's some things we go through as individuals, let me tell you. If you ever talk to a guy who is addicted to a substance, addicted to porn, addicted to visits on massage parlors, right? Addicted to whatever it is, you find one thing: these guys, they don't like the fact that they're addicted, and the problem is they just can't help themselves. The guy who is addicted to the things that need money to be spent, immediately money comes. In fact, by the way, they don't have to wait for money to come. They start looking for money so that they can service that addiction. The addiction is a serious Goliath in their lives. But the day that Goliath is conquered, and believe me, invariably, many people have conquered that Goliath. Many people in this world, they have conquered that Goliath, the man in the mirror. They have put him under. Through a process, the new you comes to the fore. It comes alive. The other Goliath that normally instills fear in you is that one of great dreams and great aspirations. It's a Goliath. Sorry to say, it's a Goliath. As in, if you ask any adult, forget about kids, because kids are fearless. They will say, I want to be a pilot, I want to own a company, I want to do this. And they're fearless and they see it. Then life starts working on their psyche. And it props up this some insurmountable Herculean Goliath who is supposed to be their dreams and their visions and their goals and their aspirations and their desires. And they look like it's an impossibility. I don't know how many times dreams of this nature have been killed. The world over. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. I mean, dreams have been killed because they look like in this insurmountable Herculean mountain that cannot be climbed. The Goliath of great dreams and aspiration. So much so that people seldom dream because they have no idea. They have no idea if they will make it or how they will make it in the first place. Today, if you ask a group of adults, forget about children, I say that again. If you ask a group of adults to tell you their biggest dreams, some of them will start thinking that particular moment in time. Because others have actually forgotten. They used to have that Herculean dream. They used to have that Herculean aspiration, desire. But it's dead or it's dormant. Now, one of the things that we can actually do in this life is to move heaven and earth to make sure that we are either on the path of realization of our Herculean dream, Herculean vision, the one that looks like Goliath, and we conquer it, or we are actually closing in on it. We cannot afford to be fence sitting when it comes to this. The more we continue fence sitting, as far as our greatest dreams and aspirations are concerned, the more we are not giving birth to ourselves, the more we are becoming stale. So we got to do this. I can tell you this: if we will not conquer the Goliath of goals, the Goliath of aspirations and dreams, chances are that you will not see through the process of self-birthing. Not saying. And the way this life is structured is in such a way that you and I can actually live for 90 years, 100, 120 years without necessarily fulfilling our God-given dream, without ever realizing it. It's possible. People do that every single working day. But that's not how we were supposed to live. One last frontier, one enduring frontier that we got to fight for in our lives is to be true to ourselves and to pursue our biggest, wildest dreams to their fullest conclusion. To dare. And one of the things that has come to my mind is this: sometimes the milestone that looks to be the next biggest milestone, it's insurmountable. Did you realize that when you've just conquered it, it seems like it was absolutely nothing? I should have attempted this like 20 years ago. What was I waiting for? And that's the thing. Because sometimes this Goliath of these Herculean dreams and tasks, they look like they're so big, it's illusionary. They walk around like they're so, august, so imposing, so just so big out there, can't be scaled. Everest, but they are scalable. You can scale those walls, you can leap through those walls, you can run through those troops. I tell you, it's possible. It's a possibility. The arsenal that you need here is just an attempt. The problem with us is that we don't even make an attempt. We don't try. You don't even ask for a salary increment, and therefore, even if they wanted to give you, they won't, because you've not asked for it. The Bible actually tells us we don't have because we don't ask. We don't try. We don't give it a push. The dream is Herculean, but all we're doing is dreaming. We're not trying. So I'm telling you, if you're going to give birth to yourself, give it a try. You see your dream, I don't know what dream it is, but today give it a try. Give it a try. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me the other day that driving was a scare to them. As in just going on the road and driving, it was a big, humongous thing. They couldn't bring themselves. It was a big dream, yet a big desire. And then they just gave it a try. Of course, the first day people scream at you and all that, you're going slow and all that stuff. But today they're driving. They're driving and they're proud of themselves. See, that's the thing. Just keep trying. Just keep going. Just give it a try today. I don't know what your big dream is today. Give it a try. Don't let this week end when you've not tried. The second thing that I want to close with, even as we come into a close of this episode today, is that I will not advise to focus on taking out the best person in your niche. That's one of the things that people normally do. That, I am in the education industry. I had my wife one day with a group of, she's a gospel artist and so on, and a group of guys was saying that there's a very big song that is going on, and our goal is to take that song down, as in to compose a bigger song. That's a weird way of approaching these things. That's a weird way of approaching the Goliath. I would advise that what you need to do, I would advise that you pit yourself against the Titan or the Goliath that is operating in your niche. I believe it was T.D. Jakes who said that if you look around the table and you find that you're the smartest man amongst that table, and these are the guys that are supposed to help you, you should fire your board and get another one of people who were smarter than you, quicker than you, astute than you, agile than you, outthink you, outperform you. Those are the guys you need to surround yourself with. And so this Goliath that you're looking at at your table, they're going to prop you up. Why? Because those who are better than us will always challenge us to grow. They will always challenge us. If you're the only guy who is doing the mighty things in the market, when you look at around, I don't know what it is that you're doing in the market. If it's in the education sector, if it's in the business sector, I don't know what it is that you're doing in your niche, by the way. And you don't find anybody who is doing better than you, chances are that you might be stagnant even. And therefore it becomes even a much more Herculean task as a market leader, so to speak, to keep reinventing and birthing yourself. And that's a Goliath moment for you. As in dismantling what you've always known to be your success so that you can be even more successful. It's not an easy thing. But that's what we've got to do. So the step number 4, if you're going to go on the road less travel so that you can identify who you really are and you can grow, is to take care of your Goliath. Tomorrow we're going to look at step number 5 on the road less traveled. Until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.